Welcome to my sweet life. I'm Amy, and today I want to show you how to make some confetti cupcakes. One of my favorite is just plain vanilla and rainbow sprinkles. So let's hop to it. Welcome back. If you are brand new, thanks for joining me. If you like this video, please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell at the end of the video or right now, because maybe you're an optimistic person and you're expecting this to be a good episode. Okay, anyways, let's get started. This is a really easy vanilla base recipe, and then we're just gonna add rainbow sprinkles to it. What's better than that? So we're gonna be using the reverse creaming method. And the reason I use the reverse creaming method is because with vegan baked goods, you're gonna have a higher liquid content because we are not dealing with eggs. So reverse creaming allows us to deal with that higher liquid content without getting a really dense kind of gummy, rubbery texture to our cakes. So what that means is we're gonna take our dry ingredients. So I've got my flour, and my sugar, salt, and baking powder, and vanilla. So those are gonna go into the bowl, and we're gonna put it on low speed to get the dry ingredients combined, and that vanilla is gonna get nice and mixed in there as well. And the reason I put the vanilla in now is because I use a lot more vanilla than other recipes call for. And it's liquid, so adding that extra liquid, if you add it in when you add the liquids at the end, it kind of overwhelms the batter and it has a tendency to curdle. So I added it in at this point so that the flour can soak up a little bit of that vanilla, and then we're gonna add in our fat. So I've got some palm shortening, and this is gonna go in. And this palm shortening is going to coat our dry ingredients. So adding in the shortening now, what that does is the fat then coats our dry ingredients. So when we add in the wet ingredients, less of the gluten will become hydrated and kind of expand and form all of those bonds. So what we're looking for, I'm gonna get this going on low. You want it to become a course meal, but you do not want it to become a paste. Okay, this looks perfect. So there's gonna be some larger, pieces in here that don't break down, and that's okay. You just don't wanna let it go further because it will kind of all bind together and become a paste, and we don't want that. We want the fat to coat the dry ingredients, not be fully incorporated with the dry ingredients. So this looks perfect. Now I already measured out my almond milk, and I went ahead and put the vinegar in this. And the vinegar, when you add it to any kind of milk, basically makes your own homemade buttermilk. It's gonna add some nice acidity to balance out the flavor of the cupcakes a little bit better. So what I want to do is just add this in with my applesauce. And we'll give that a little toss just to get it mostly combined. And I like to use apple cider vinegar just because it has like good gut stuff in it, stuff that's good for your stomach. So I'm gonna add about half of that mixture. Okay. Half of that mixture. And then we're gonna turn the mixer onto medium speed and let it go. And this is going to add some air into our batter. Because we don't have any eggs, which typically will add air to your batter, we're gonna use the liquid and the dry ingredients to just really get some incorporated, which is gonna make our cupcakes a lot lighter and more fluffy in the end. Okay, so that's been going for a couple minutes, and it should look really nice and combined. and definitely lighter in color. Just nice and smooth. So that's what we're looking for at this point. Now we're gonna turn it on to low speed and get the rest of our wet ingredients in there. I add it in small increments at this point because if you just dump it all in, the batter could curdle, and we're not looking for that. So after each small addition, you want to bump the mixer speed up to make sure that it's fully incorporated. Beautiful. This is a nice smooth batter, not curdled, looks perfect and smells delicious. All right, so the last step is getting our sprinkles in there. And the key to adding sprinkles to your batter is adding them at the very end and folding them in by hand. You put them on the mixer, they're gonna bleed out into the cake mix. So we want to avoid that. I'm using vegan, gluten-free, allergen-friendly, all-natural confetti sprinkles. I got mine on Amazon. They're super easy to find. I think these are called like Nature's Rainbow. So those are gonna go right in. And I'm just going to fold, and I'm using a lot of sprinkles in mine. It's kind of up to you, but I feel like when you look at the cupcake, when you take it out of the wrapper, you need to see sprinkles for it to truly be confetti cake. So that is gorgeous. Now we can just scoop it right into our wrappers. And I know that about 3 scoops of this is enough for a good cupcake. And I already preheated my oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. There we go. So that fills it about 3/4 of the way full. The thing to remember with vanilla cake, really of any kind, is that it typically rises more than, say, a chocolate cake. So you definitely don't want to overfill your cupcakes. And then I always scrape my bowl at the end because you can usually get one more cupcake out of it. And it gives us exactly 12 cupcakes. There we are. Give these a little shake and a little tap just to flatten them out a little bit. And these are gonna go into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. And you'll know they're done when they take a little bit of color on the outside or on the top. And if you press in the center, if your fingerprint bounces back up, you know they're done. You can also use a cake skewer or a toothpick inserted in the center. As soon as it's clean or only has a couple little crumbs sticking to it, you can go ahead and pull it out of the oven. Let's make some frosting. So I'm just gonna make a really simple frosting for these cupcakes because the spotlight really is on the sprinkles. I've got some palm shortening, which I think is the best for shortening based frostings. It doesn't leave a greasy mouthfeel. I've got some powdered sugar and sea salt. Those are gonna go in there together, and I'm gonna get them going onto medium speed for a couple minutes to really let it cream and make sure that it breaks up all of that powdered sugar. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. Now it's gonna be a little thick at this point, and that's totally normal. We want this to be able to withstand piping on top of our cupcakes. But I'm scraping it really well because the shortening likes to hide down on the bottom of the bowl, and nobody wants to take a bite of frosting and just get a big bit of shortening. That's super gross. All right, so that's gonna go back onto low speed, and I've got a little bit of almond milk and some vanilla paste because I want those vanilla beans in there. It just looks so pretty. scrape in those vanilla beans. And I want to put it back on medium speed and let it go for about 2 more minutes. So my frosting went for a couple more minutes and it whipped up really nicely. And it's got some lovely vanilla beans in it. So I just want to pop this into my piping bag. I've got a nice large piping bag fitted with a Wilton 6B, which is my favorite piping tip for piping on top of cupcakes. You want something with a larger opening, because the larger the opening, the more spread your frosting is gonna have. If you use like a flower tip, while that looks nice, it's not gonna have as much frosting kind of fill in. You'll see what I mean. I just think cupcakes look really nice when they're like perfectly topped with frosting and there's no empty pockets or anything like that. So I've got this. I always like to push my frosting down into my bag right to the tip. And then using my hand like this, right in my thumb there, grab the other one and turn. And you want to hold it like this, you want to hold it like this with whichever hand that you're comfortable piping with. You can twist it because that's going to be a better grip, and you want to be able to twist the back of the bag. You can also put a rubber band on here if that's something you're more comfortable with. If you fill the bag really full, you can use your opposite hand, keeping a nice firm grip on that, and then use your piping hand to apply pressure to pipe. If you're using half a bag like I am, you can keep it up at the top and pipe just like that. So I'm just gonna start right in the center of my cupcake, applying pressure, slowly go out towards the edges. So that's one way. You can also apply pressure and let it fill out to the edges. Do like a little squiggly. You can just do one little round rosette. You can start on the outside edge. Oops, get an air bubble, don't worry. Coming right into the center and stopping. So you have a few different options when it comes to piping on cupcakes. Okay, I've piped on a few more and now we get to put on the finishing touches. So I have some more of my sprinkles. And again, when it comes to decorating with toppings, you have more options too. You can put like a little bit in the center, which is super cute. You can sprinkle them all over, which I also love. Or, this is super fun. Just pour some in the lid here. Ooh, this one's gonna be my favorite. You can dip the whole thing in sprinkles. And what's nice about this one too is that if you're not super confident about your piping, if you get it on there and you get the whole thing covered in sprinkles, you can use your finger and shape it into a nice uniform shape and really get what you're looking for. Super cute. Love that one. You can also go right around the edges as well if you just want to do that. So you want to keep it definitely at an angle, basically laying the cupcake on its side and turning it in the sprinkles. just like that. And again, you can kind of clean it up however you like. And then you have one just like that, which is super pretty. So you have some fun things to try. I really hope you like this, and I hope you try them out. And if you do try these cupcakes out and you try maybe a different piping technique or a different sprinkle technique or one of the ones that I've showed you, go ahead and find me on Instagram and tag me at sweetlifeof_Amy so I can check out what you're working on and what you're creating. I would love to see that. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. Hit the notification bell so you can see more episodes like this one. And the recipe link is down in the description for when you are ready to try these out. But right now, we have to taste it. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Can you see all of the sprinkles in this? This is insane. So many sprinkles. Wow. Okay. This is not gonna be pretty. Wow. Yummy cupcake. You have basically the same amount of frosting as cupcake. Tons of confetti. Frosting is really sweet. The cupcake is a little bit acidic. And you get the crunchy sprinkles on top, the soft sprinkles in the cupcake, vanilla throughout. It's a really nice balance. These are really good. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later. Bye.